Welcome back to part 2 of our deep dive into toxic family dynamics documented online. In the first part, we covered Shanika and the complex, often heartbreaking interactions within her family. Today, we're switching gears to take a closer look at the Jenkins family, also known as Resilient Jenkins on TikTok. This is a family of 6, soon to be 7, living in a one-bedroom home, navigating some unique challenges and raising questions about their priorities and motivations. Through their TikTok presence, they've garnered a lot of attention, but not always for positive reasons. We'll unpack their living situation, their choices, and the reactions they've sparked online. Let's get into it. The Resilient Jenkins family, as shared on TikTok, is made up of a mother, father, and 4 children, with another on the way. Stephanie, the mother in the Resilient Jenkins family, has 2 children from a previous relationship. Her partner, Andrew Jenkins, also has children from prior relationships, 2 sons from 2 different mothers, though he actively cares for only one of these sons, who also lives with them. Together, Stephanie and Andrew have a toddler, and Stephanie is now expecting Andrew's 4th child.
Like all that dancing in there, that's that tribal ritual.
You might be wondering, what's going on with this family and why are you making a video about them? Well, just take a look at these clips and see for yourself.
Come spend a wholesome night with the Resilient Jenkins. We started off with our typical nighttime routine of making sure everything gets cleaned up. Now, unfortunately, the belt keeps going out on our vacuum, so we just go ahead and use the hose attachment. Got the floors swept and mopped in the bed area and got the beds back down for bedtime. And I wanted to cut out some extra time to go through both of my son's toy boxes and get rid of some stuff that they've already outgrown. Now, have you know, my son asked me if he could take over vacuuming. He said he really wanted to give it a try. While going through the toy bins, I noticed there was a bunch of newborn toys that my son had barely ever had an interest in, so they were barely used. Maybe my daughter might have some interest, so we'll go ahead and put them aside for her. Vacuum the area back up and go ahead and put the rug back down. After I was finished resetting the kids area with them, I went back into mine and my husband's room. Organized that drawer of newborn toys for my daughter. And then me and the kids worked on writing down our manifestations. A little intervention to get the toddler back his mattress so he can jump on it.
Here's what stands out. The children are sleeping on foam mattress toppers laid out in the kitchen and living room, while the parents have a comfortable bed in a separate room with a door. This setup raises questions about priorities in the children's living conditions, especially with a growing family and limited space. Let's rewind and look at what I uncovered about Andrew Jenkins and his journey before where we see him today. From what I know, Andrew is 35 years old. He has an older son, Anthony, who is around 12 years old, from a previous relationship with a woman named Lita. Initially, they made arrangements for Andrew to spend time with his son, with Anthony even staying over at his place, but those visits eventually stopped. Andrew has struggled with alcohol and substance abuse over the years, which impacted his relationships and responsibilities. Later, he entered a relationship with another woman, Desiree, with whom he had a 2nd son. However, due to his challenges with addiction, he didn't see the son much in the early years either. Both he and Desiree were battling substance issues, but eventually, Andrew gained custody of his son with her and decided it was time to make changes. Determined to get his life back on track, Andrew entered a detox program and began taking steps toward a better future for himself and his son. However, life remained challenging. They faced eviction and periods of homelessness, during which Andrew often turned to Facebook, seeking temporary arrangements for his son to stay with others while he worked and looked for a stable home for them. This is how we get to Stephanie Lynn Thompson, who has 2 daughters. It remains unclear whether she had them with her husband, Jeremiah Christian Thompson, although many people believe the children resemble him. Importantly, Stephanie is still married to Jeremiah. Her name is not Stephanie Jenkins, but rather Stephanie Lynn Thompson. Jeremiah is currently incarcerated, facing serious charges related to kidnapping and the sexual abuse of a minor under the age of 14.
26-year-old registered S offender from Washington is being held without bail after he was charged with kidnapping and abusing a child under 14. Y'all, this is her husband. Mr. Jenkins is not her husband. This is her husband. You see, she even posted about it. Apparently she was so disturbed about it. But I don't know why, because that's not the first time that has happened. Actually, he was already a S offender before you married him. You see, Mr. Thompson has been an S offender since 2010 for essaying his mother and a 7-year-old. And you still married him. And it looks like you had children with him because her oldest daughter looks like him. Y'all did hear that right. Miss Stephanie's first baby daddy, husband, Jeremiah Thompson, essayed his own mother. And you would think it couldn't get any worse than that, but it does. Because he was only 16 years old when he essayed his 60-year-old mother. Being as though he was only 16 years old, clearly Miss Stephanie had to know he was already an offender when they got together. This is Stephanie's mom's TikTok account, Maurice Blake. They look just alike, don't they? She posted this on July 11th. I'm not going to stop until I can say I am not scared for my granddaughters. Yeah, I understand. Yes, so Stephanie's mom was in my live yesterday and actually did confirm that the apartment that they live in was Drew's apartment originally, with just him and his son. Then Miss Stephanie came over with her 2 kids and invaded Mr. Drew's son's space, which I just think is really selfish. That's... How dare you take away from your son like that by making him share his space with 2 kids that aren't yours? And not only is he sharing his space, he's forced to share all his resources, the little resources they have. Now he has to share and has been sharing. It's just not fair. And then before this, Stephanie's mom confirmed that Stephanie lived with her mom. They had a 3-bedroom apartment. So she took her kids out of their comfortable 3-bedroom apartment where they had more than enough space and threw them to shack up with this guy in this little tiny apartment. Why would you do that to your kids? This isn't a situation where they were forced into this. Yes, they're poor, but they were not living like this before. They chose to live like this so that they can just be together and be trash. Like, there's no other reason for it. Miss Stephanie could go home with her mom right now, and her mom said that. They are waiting for her with open arms.
So it turns out that Andrew Jenkins is the primary leaseholder of the home, and Stephanie and her daughters came to live there with him. This dynamic adds an interesting layer, as Andrew's living arrangement might seem secure, but Stephanie's presence and her eagerness to gain online fame have shifted the household focus. Known for her strong online presence, Stephanie has been actively working to go viral and gain a following. Despite much of the feedback being negative, she appears committed to maintaining this public lifestyle and continues to post content involving her family, which invites scrutiny and criticism. These are some clips of the content she's been posting to go viral. Mind you, she's been trying to go viral over 3 years now.
Spend the morning with us. Outfit of the morning, because I was not about to change just to make some lunch boxes. Welcome back if you're new here. We are the Resilient Jenkins. If you follow along, you'll quickly learn why we chose the name Resilient. We are constantly thinking of ways to adapt and make things work. Now, my hubby worked his ass off for the past 3 weeks trying to make sure that he had the means to get our kids lunch boxes and new clothes for school, but things just kept happening. There's one thing both hubby and I agree on, it's if we do have some resource, we make do with that resource, even if it's not the best, because sometimes other bills come first. That being said, we're still working heavy on trying to get our kids cool aesthetic lunch boxes, a bunch of girly aesthetic hair ties and hair bows for doing their hair, and my son is in need of some new kicks and some hats. Honestly, I don't think any of my kids would have cared if they went to school in paper bags, because they were just so eager to get back to school, get back to their friends. They really miss school. They love school. And honestly, I never thought I would be the mom to say it, but I was kind of excited for them to get back to their school routine and having a little bit more time to edit and put some time into my self-care. Now, like I mentioned, we do have limited resources for lunch boxes, so we have to keep to items that don't need any ice packs, and 2 of my kids are in the same grade, so they can rock one lunch bag, which is super convenient right now. And we just run around crazy trying to find just a couple of hair ties to get their hair out today for school. But we made it work, and we even found these cute little clips that I forgot we had. While I was getting the kids ready for school and getting the lunch boxes all set up, Drew was giving the cat box area and haul a much needed reset. This year, our biggest goal is to make sure that the kids have a healthy start for their breakfast and a good healthy lunch option. Last year, my kids ate a lot of the school food, and their appetites were deeply affected. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. I never know where to start these things, but listen. I went to the doctor with my kids today, and I have 3 kids. I have the 2 girls, and then I have my stepson. And I get in the doctor, and I mean 4 people. The person who checks me in, the nurse, and then there's another nurse who comes in later in the appointment, and the doctor. All freaking 4 of them have something to say about, oh, you got a lot of kids in here. You got a big crew. I mean, like, it's 3 kids, and I'm trying to have, like, 3 more. So I'm not sure where this, like, perception of, like, it being okay to just, like, oh, you got a lot of kids, or you got, got a lot on your hands. Like, dude, just shut your mouth when it comes to, like, a mom just doing her thing, Like, just shut your mouth, people. Mind your own business. Is it that hard? I feel like it's not that hard. Do you see my cloud? You know, here's my issue, is that I know, like, if you want to get followers and stuff, like, people say you should just keep your account pretty consistent with your content and stuff, but I'm, like, not consistent, and I don't really like being consistent. I feel like it's, like, what makes me me. So, it's, like, if you want an account where you're just going to get, like, some days you're going to see a cooking video, some days you're going to see a mom ranting, some days you might see some kids running around, or some adorable freaking cats, like, that's more me, you know, and I feel like I do have, like, a good personality, and I'm funny, but I'm just, like, really shy, so that's why there's not a lot of videos of me just talking. But I do want to start posting more, and I hope that, like, you know, I get a little better content consistency, but I don't know. That maybe that just goes with, like, what I see people are more interested in. I'm really stuck on this one. Okay, so I'm sure a couple of you seen that video of me, like, talking about the balloons. Okay, so that's the stuff that I just get comment after comment. Literally every time I open up my TikTok, I'd have like 15 more messed up Karen comments. I take the video down, and now nobody's seeing my account. TikTok, what the? Okay, another mom rant. So I just went and thought I got a bunch of laundry started, right? I got like 6 loads going in this like community laundry. I have a theory about the whole like verified users or people on TikTok and just people who get a lot of followers in general. If you don't have like crazy amounts of aesthetically pleasing shit in your house, and furthermore, if you don't have a house that looks like maybe you pay more than $2,000 a month for it, or rent an apartment for $2,000 or more, people don't pay attention. People don't want nothing to do with minorities. I mean, because I keep seeing people that definitely deserve a following, have great talent, have amazing fucking content, but because their house doesn't look like they spend a lot of money on it, because they don't have everything matching in their video, it's not aesthetically pleasing.
We thought you was a toad.
All these things, no, because I'm not about to just leave it like this. Like, that's fine. That's like 10 minutes of me not cleaning, not being up doing stuff. Rant. Listen, you know what gets me? Why do people who are like spiritual, and I be spiritual too, but listen, why is it they want to turn around and be like, girl, you're not manifesting that right, you're not doing the right thing, you're not using the right candles and the right oils and the right this and the right that? Like, bitch, excuse the out of me. My manifestation worked. I got my man.
Long it was a fever. A cold, red, hot-headed believer. I throw my hands in the air, tell me something. He said, if you dare, tell me a little closer. Round and around and around and around we go. Oh, now tell me.
That's gonna be another thing I'm gonna rant about, bitch. Listen, okay, because I am damn lucky to be home, not out in that work field, and I give that all to my man, and I'm so motherfucking grateful. But apparently, just because it's not my workplace, that don't mean that I'm not gonna bring that drama home. Because tell me why, when my man tells me something about his boss or his coworkers, I want to whoop their fucking asses more than I ever want to whoop anybody's. What the fuck? Man, I'm over here thinking about like some medieval fucking weaponry. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, bitch, you tell me when your boss is over there, baby. I can walk my butt over there. I got some stuff. I got some juju to throw her way. Why? And tell me why, when it's a woman in power, they're always bitches and they're always fucking white. They're always white. What the hell? Why would you say that? You're white. No, okay. Yes, I'm white, but I'm not white. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Them entitled bitches, okay? Man, woo! I'm gonna go ice my face.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Her eagerness for social media fame appears to come at a cost, with her children often caught in the middle. Viewers question her priorities, especially given the unequal sleeping arrangements. While Andrew and Stephanie enjoy a private room with a large bed, the children sleep on mattresses in shared spaces like the living room. This setup has raised concerns from viewers who feel the kids' privacy and comfort should be prioritized. Further aggravating these criticisms is the setup of Andrew's room, which reportedly contains a PlayStation 5 and 2 monitors, suggesting a focus on his own comfort and leisure over the children's needs. Stephanie's disregard for the negative feedback she receives has added fuel to the fire, leading many to question the well-being of the children in her pursuit of internet fame. When Stephanie's TikTok videos started gaining attention, the mother of Andrew's oldest son, Anthony, came forward to share her perspective. She revealed several concerns about Andrew's involvement in their son's life, shedding light on a different side of the family dynamics.
Hi, I'm the first baby mama. I'm absolutely embarrassed the fact that that's my sperm donor. I will not be posting my child on here because y'all not gonna know. But my son is almost 12. Since everybody wants to kind of chime in, that man that everybody's saying they have two loving parents walked out of his son's life when he was 2. Okay, haven't seen his son since he was 5, and that's because I reached out to him to come to his kindergarten graduation, and at the time he only had one child, which was the little black boy you guys see in his videos. That's my oldest's little brother. Now my oldest, who's at the top because he will be 12, doesn't even know he has 2 other siblings. So no, they didn't meet when he had one child. He probably has more. He hasn't paid child support, but he has a PS5. I feel bad for those kids. I literally feel bad for my child's siblings, sad to say, that they have to sleep on the floor. And that man has not changed. And it's disrespectful, mind you, my child's name is being changed. I'm at work, but I keep seeing this shit, and it makes my blood boil. My son doesn't have to worry about anything. He's in a loving home. He has grandparents. He has his aunties, his uncles, close family members that are surrounded. My son is loved, and he knows he's loved. And I'm so glad I kept my son out of that situation.
Following Lita's video, Stephanie and Andrew responded publicly, releasing a video to address some of the claims she made. In their response, they attempted to clarify or rebut certain points, though it's unclear if they fully acknowledged any issues brought up by Lita.
Well, it's not.
I guess a public response, kind of.
Yeah, our public response.
Cool. What should we address first?
Let's address the child support thing.
Child support. Okay. The child support and child. I have the one other child, Anthony. I've been paying child support via garnishments ever since I can remember. And I worked at a W-2 since I was 18, 19. Worked nights, multiple jobs, never made above 22 an hour.
Work jobs that worked your body to the bone. And
yeah, I worked retail, I worked overnight, I worked at Home Depot. Where else did I work? I worked at Jackson's, I worked at Grocery Outlet. I pumped gas. I pumped gas. I did HVAC for a year, and even HVAC. People say, oh, HVAC, you pay. Hey, I was there for a year, doing the most work, coming on the weekends to do scrap metal, and then going to Jackson's, and I only got a $4 raise after a year, and people got an $8 raise, making 32 plus, and they sat me at 24.
A $4 raise after only working for a year is actually a lot. Maybe it's different in America, but where I'm from, that is a lot.
Now, the HVAC company, that's a whole other story in and of itself, because he drove all over the place for that company. He was the one working the hardest for that company, and yet they would not increase his pay. They increased the pay of 3 of the other employees while he was working there.
Anything. It's what my workload didn't equal out what I felt to what I was getting paid, deserved to get paid. especially how fast I was picking things up and how hard I was working. And there wasn't any complaints. The complaint was, oh, you're requesting too many days off. Yes, because I want more money, so I'm trying to find other ways to make money. And so then I went back to Jackson's. Went back to Jackson's full time and worked days and nights, 60 hours plus, and try to make sure I washed every window, try to do every little detail to get any kind of tips.
This man has done everything he can to provide.
The child support thing, I don't know what to tell anybody. I've been paying for years via garnishment. They've taken out 9-10 grand from taxes, and I let them. I didn't fight any of it. If the other party hasn't received it, that is not on me. I don't have any of that money. I think I owe $6,000 is all I owe, which most of that got taken care of last year, and everything else is via garnishment, except for now, because I haven't gotten. I guess except for now, I'm 4 or 5 months behind. Things happen. It's not like I don't know about it. What else? How?
They want to know why you're not involved in stuff.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
I don't need to explain why. I don't need to explain everything. I can't explain everything.
And that's the thing. It's not their life for us to explain. It's our life. It's our perspective. It's what we've been through.
Well, people are gonna judge regardless.
And that's fine.
I know. I've been judged all my life. I'm just letting them know they think the child support's one thing, and this is if they believe people are gonna believe one side or the other. That's entirely up to whoever watches or listens to this.
So, you want to know what's funny, y'all? This is the recent affidavit I received, right? So, if you've been paying what you said you've been paying, Andrew, why do they need this? Did you do it? Did you do it? Oh, yeah, Stephanie. Do you want me to, do you want me to send you the message that I sent you back in August with the affidavit? You cluck. Do you? Oh, Andrew, do you want me to go back to my messenger? Do you want me to go back to my messenger? I can pull up all the shit. I don't care how many jobs you had. You never stayed at one. And when he was getting a little itty bitty bit, he wasn't getting much. I remember getting my account that from the state of Oregon. They sent me 5 cents, nigga. They sent me 5 cents, nigga. You ain't paid much. Sit up there with that bitch. You got me f***ed up. I will air your shit out, nigga. Air your shit out, nigga. You got me f***ed up. I got receipts. I have every court document that has been sent to me. This is my recent one. Did you show up, nigga? Sit up there stuttering like a motherfucker. You can't even get your motherfucking story straight. You stupid bitch. You pissed me the f*** off. You done set me off. Now I'm unhinged. Got me f***ed up when I sit there and play stupid. You sit up there in that nasty ass apartment. Don't ever forget, nigga, when you did see my son, when he was about 6 or 10 months old, and you took him to some random bitch's house, and she was up in there, she lived like a porter, and I took you outside politely, nigga. Don't sit up there and don't play me. I took you outside politely, nigga, and I said, don't you ever have my baby in a dirty ass house. He was about 6 or 10 months old when that shit happened, nigga. You want to play with me? I told you, don't play with me, Andrew. You know I don't play with me, Andrew. I will air your shit the f*** out. Air it the f*** out. I ain't doing no shit for clout. I don't have to worry about it. I'm a normal ass human being. I'm a normal ass human being. I work. I do my nails. I work. I'm a caregiver. I take care of my oldest. I take care of my stepson when we have him. And I have my baby, who will be 6. I ain't got time for no clown. I ain't got to chase nothing, bitch. I ain't got to chase nothing after you mother. But I will expose you, Andrew, because you ain't done shit. The last time I got a giant ass payout from the state of Oregon, because it didn't come from you. And the pieces of taxes that I did get, that was back in 2017, nigga. It's 2024.
Andrew currently supports himself and his family by doing gig-based work, such as delivering for Uber Eats, rather than holding a traditional W-2-based job. Many people speculate that this choice is likely to avoid formal employment records that could facilitate garnishment for child support payments, particularly for his older son with his ex, Lita. By relying on independent gig work, Andrew can earn income without a paper trail as visible to child support enforcement agencies, which often track earnings through W-2 records. Andrew claims to be paying garnishments directly, possibly as a forced measure by the government to collect overdue child support payments. Given his gig-based income, it's likely that these garnishments aren't voluntary but enforced by the state, which can seize part of his earnings to ensure at least partial fulfillment of his financial obligations.
And same with the job thing. I've worked and people think, oh, you never, blah, blah, blah. I've worked, I always work, and I hate not working, but I hate also not getting paid for my time or for my worth. And people say, oh, you don't know your worth. Of course I know my worth. Everybody should know their worth.
Hence why we're no longer.
I've done plenty of jobs in my lifetime. I feel like I should get paid a certain amount. What else are we addressing? The destructiveness.
Yeah, there's
A speculation going around that we bought, quote unquote, bought foam toppers for our kids. They had frames, they had mattresses, sheets, pillows, the works, even little drapes on their
princess tapestries.
Yeah, they hung on everything and bent everything and broke it and tore it down, and
kids are destructive. They're especially our two girls. They
bent the hell out of the metal frames and all that, making it more or less a hazard. So we had to remove it from the house, and then they tore up their sheets and all bed covers and all that. And if you guys don't know, when anybody orders a bed is a giant piece of foam. When you go on to order a bed, it says foam mattress or memory foam with the pillow topper. It's all foam. If you guys didn't know, it's just I thought that was common knowledge, but I guess that's something that you guys know now.
People do know this, Andrew. It's just that people usually don't sleep on just the foam. Mattress covers help protect the internal layers from wear and tear, dust, moisture, and other environmental factors. The cover also plays a role in fire resistance, and since the kids sleep in the kitchen, you do the math, Andrew.
There's this impression that I don't want better for the children, which doesn't make any sense to me. That's all I want is better for our kids. More space, more opportunity. And you say, oh, she's been posting about this for 3 years, and for 3 years I've been doing my absolute best to try to make something happen. And I did too. I worked W-2 jobs for a long time, and I'm not gonna justify the reason that being home with my kids, it's either I pay someone to watch my kids and raise them a way that I don't agree with, or I stay home and raise my kids and get to watch them grow and become their people. And that's the choice that I would rather have.
Oh, and of course, people think I want to stay in a one bedroom.
That's
no.
what I'm saying. They think we want to stay.
They think we want to stay in one
here.
bedroom. Things have increasingly got more expensive over the years.
Mm-hmm.
My rent has gone up.
It's gone up $300 since we got together.
Yeah, because it was what, $950.
Yeah.
People are going to judge me and have always judged me. All my life. That's nothing new to me. That's nothing new to me. All I know is I'm trying to do the best with what I got. How I'm trying to do the best with what I have and how I know best. And people say, yes, get a W-2. I would love to get a W-2 that paid me decent enough. Like getting a W-2 at 18.
Why does it just gotta be about the pay?
20.
Why does nobody consider the health aspect? That most of these W-2 jobs are sucking the life out of you. Why doesn't that matter?
Oh, because they don't care. It's not, and I get it. It's not about me. It's about my kids. But also, I can't.
Well, you don't want to be here for your kids.
That's the thing. I want to be here for my kids, and I don't want a job to suck the life out of me. So I'm coming home. I'm going to work hating my job, and I'm hating my life because my job is sucking the life out of me. That's how Jackson's was. Jackson's was okay, but it was
If we had worked at Jackson's, we will be stuck here the rest of the kids' lives. We made the decisions we made to get out of here.
Yeah,
business.
I guess here's the other thing. They'll probably say, get a second job. I've had second job, and this is why I am pre-diabetic and on heart medication. Because I've had a heart attack and went into AFib, and I'm on heart pressure medication. Not making an excuse, but I overworked myself and didn't eat and didn't sleep and didn't eat and didn't sleep to make sure bills were getting paid. It's not like I wasn't. I would like a job that's one job. If I were to have a W-2, one job that pays well. I don't want 2-3 jobs. That's not fair. I know that. Life ain't fair. Life is not.
The Jenkins family has indeed created an Amazon wish list, which has sparked significant criticism. Many viewers expected the wish list to prioritize essentials for the children, given their living situation, but instead, the list includes items that seem to benefit the parents more than the kids. For example, items like a wave comb for Andrew and an electric keyboard cleaner have left viewers questioning why basic necessities for the children, like proper bedding or clothing, aren't prioritized. Interestingly, even though bunk beds were donated for the kids, they remain set up in unconventional spaces like the kitchen and living room rather than a more private area. Stephanie and Andrew's choice to keep the bedroom for themselves, reportedly to hotbox, a term for smoking in an enclosed space, further reinforces the viewer's concerns about their priorities and living arrangement.
I hate it here! I want to go home!
The girls love their bunk bed, the baby got a new shirt, and Stephanie got a new vacuum cleaner. The people buying stuff off their wish list is just, I don't know. I get buying stuff for the kids, but buying Andrew and Stephanie things is just not smart. And this is how they react to people buying them stuff, by the way.
Say thank you. That's not just like the police. Roll down your window.
We literally just said thank you. I've said thank you to every one of them. I just don't think your ears have been open. I've said thank you, like every time. Thank you, Mackenzie. Did you hear me that time?
Securitas 22 an hour or something like that. Yeah, that's not gonna pay my bills. Someone said trucking. Union jobs pay well, yes, but it's sacrificial to your life. I don't know. I don't like sitting in a truck. I don't like sitting all day.
Andrew just uses excuse after excuse after excuse. So you want to make 30 plus an hour, and because you can't, you're just accepting $0 an hour. Make that make sense, Andrew. And you don't want to be a truck driver even though it pays good, but you don't want to sit in a truck all day? Is this nigga serious?
Truckers get fat too, especially working 18 hours a day.
Their legs lose all their abilities and stuff. Truckers have neck chiropractic needs, for lack of a better way to put it.
What?
They said you would never cut it in the military.
Oh, that's why I was going to join the Marines at 18, I'm talking about.
Yes, Andrew, you was, but you didn't. This man is 35 years old, can't hold a job for nothing, and then has the audacity to complain because he deserves more? Suck a peen, Andrew.
Exactly. Who's that insulting? Because not everybody even supports.
Yeah. Gotta make sure I wash my mouth because my mouth be flying off the handle. I don't know. Get on camera. I don't know. Just because I'm chilling over here. Hi.
He's got another girlfriend. No, he don't.
Why y'all so annoying in the comments? Goddamn. How do we end up in this situation? Inflation. Mostly. Rent just went up $113.
Except you've been a bum even before all of that, but go off, nigga.
Cool.
I don't want to go to school to be a barber. I mean, a good idea. I don't want to be a barber though. I did HVAC for a while, but I went for like a year, but they weren't paying me enough. Why don't I DoorDash? DoorDash is like having a W-2. What's wrong with the W-2? There's no W-2 that's going to give me $30+ an hour right off the jump of what I need. I've been working since I've been 18 years old.
But you couldn't hold a steady job, so you've been working on and off since you were 18 years old. You're acting like you've been working the same job for 17 years, Andrew.
What is my dream job? My time. In my life, I got paid enough to work a regular freaking job, or whatever the case is, paid my worth.
Why can't you drink some water? You've had 3 cups of milk today. Go drink some water.
About
Thank you, Sammy and Carrie. You guys are awesome.
McDonald's general managers get paid around $33 hourly where you live. Yes. How long do you think? You just get hired.
You just get hired as a manager at McDonald's? That's how it works?
Yes, Stephanie, you can get hired as a manager.
Bitch, are you dumb, 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 dumb?
To add to the story, Andrew's ex-girlfriend recently stepped forward with her account of their past relationship, offering new perspectives on her experiences with him. She shared details of her time with Andrew that reveal a history of challenges, including difficulties, co-parenting, and managing household responsibilities.
Okay, y'all are crazy. Y'all are going on Facebook looking for Andrew Jenkins and then finding my page. Then y'all are hopping in my inbox and also commenting on the old post from when me and him were together. It literally says like 5-6 years ago. Yes, I know I came on here and I was trying to defend him in the first place, but then I retracted that because after I had went and seen him and he was acting crazy and stuff like that, that ain't the man that I used to know. He is not the man that I used to know, and I ain't got nothing to do with that. Whatever he got going on over there with that girl, that's on him and her. But all I know is that when he was with me, none of that shit that he got going on with that girl was going on with me and my kids or his son. Nobody was sleeping on no floor. Nobody. None of the kids was. That's it. Okay, so y'all want to know something? I used to date Andrew Jenkins from 2016 to 2018. And at the time, we met in a place, an undisclosed place. And when I got my housing, I brought him and his son along with me and my kids. When we first met, I was pregnant. He left his second baby mama because I honestly don't know. But he was treating her wrong. Don't ask me why I decided to. It didn't even happen like that, honestly. It like just gradually happened. There was always beefing and stuff like that. So he showed interest in me and stuff like that. I really didn't know much of why they was beefing and stuff, but okay. So in that time being, he was good to me and my kids, and he really helped out a lot. When I ended up getting a place, so I had just moved out here to Portland. So when I ended up getting a place, I brought him and his son, and he almost fucked it up for me too. But when we finally moved in, about like a month and a half in, I told him basically that I would not allow him to be in my household if he didn't work. So he went and got a job, and the job at the time paid like $18-19 an hour. So he ended up getting a job. Okay, so he worked all the way until my youngest son, the son that I was pregnant with, turned 1. So when my son turned 1, I went and got a job. So then he would work and I would work. And then like we would take turns watching kids. Well, it happened to be one night when I came home at like 11 o'clock, 11:30 when I got off. He wasn't at the house. He was next door with the neighbor and his son and left my kids in the house. So I had it. So I basically went over there to the neighbor's house, walked in the back door, didn't give no fucks about knocking or anything like that. I went into the back door. I opened that door up and I told him, you need to come get your shit. Come get your shit and get the fuck out. Because at this point in time, like, I'm not even about to play with you. Like, that's not okay. Why am I coming home to my front door open and my kids watching my kids? That didn't make no sense. And at the time, all my kids were young. Mind you, but he portrayed to be like the perfect stepdad. Okay, so that was one thing. And then another thing happened when I threw him a birthday party and he went off with his homeboys and they did X, Y, and Z. And then that's where the problems came. When I tell you that this man stopped helping me pay rent, he fucked me over when I helped him out. And I used to watch his son. His son basically was my first stepson. And I love that baby, I did. But he himself as a man fucked me over. So I told him once again he got to get his shit and get the fuck out. And when he got his shit or whatever, he decided to like pop off on me. So we got into a big disagreement. With that being said, he took all his stuff and he put it in storage. At this time, he really didn't have nowhere to go. And I felt bad, so I let him come back home. Again, he played with me again. I am the type of female, like, you're not about to just keep playing with me in my face for so many times that I'm, like, gonna get fed up. But at the end of that, he ended up having to be on the streets. And I ended up packing up my shit and moving. This man left me in debt $1720. He left me in debt $1720 in rent. He never helped me pay it at all. Period. He really didn't care. He really didn't care. He didn't care that he put me and my children and his child in debt. That's Andrew for you.
He left me owing $1720 in rent. It's because he was smoking it up. And I ain't talking about no reefer. Other shit. And me personally, I don't like that type of shit around my kids. I don't have that type of shit around my kids. I found out that he was doing that, that he was smoking the money up, I was pissed. I was pissed. So then that goes to say when I said that I ended up packing my shit and I left and moved. Yeah, I told him he couldn't come with me. It's because of that. Because Andrew wanted to do drugs. And he didn't care who he was hurting in the midst of it. He is the type of person that's like kind of weak-minded. That like, if you give that nigga something, he's gonna try it. He's not the type to be like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't do that. Not him across the street over there with a bunch of, heads. Knocks. So at this point, I'm pissed off. I'm like, you could be over here smoking up the fucking rent money and shit like that. And I'm trying to work and trying to come up with this money for rent and stuff. And you over here smoking it up. So you know what I did? I snatched his ass up by his dreads. Yes, y'all. He used to have dreads. He ain't got no more. He looked like an old ass man with that lady. With that girl. Him and her look bad. When he was with me, none of that was even allowed. When I got pregnant by Drew, we both decided that I would get, a AB. Because we already had 5 kids and we had a 2-bedroom. And the kids had a bedroom with beds in it. My 3 oldest girls, they had a room. And then my son and his son, which his son was only 1 and my son was still a baby. We just had them in the room with us with, bassinet and stuff like that. Let's see. So when I decided to get the AB, he was like, yeah, like we can't afford to have, no more kids and stuff like that. And the baby's a baby. And I was like, yeah, I know. I don't really want to, I don't want to do this. So I got the AB. And then, he let me go by myself. He let me go to the AB clinic by myself. When I got back, I'm bleeding. He didn't help me. He didn't help me at all. He really didn't even care. He's like, what do you want me to do? You could help me around the house? You know? No, you know what he wanted to do? Play on that PS5. His second baby mama name is Desiree. He did her wrong with him. And he did all of that with his second baby mama, only to put their baby in this situation with this girl. I don't feel bad for them anymore. Like, not the couple. I feel bad for the kids, but I don't feel bad for the couple anymore. I don't support that bullshit.
If that wasn't enough, his second baby mother, Desiree, spoke out.
Oh no.
Andrew Alexander Jenkins, get on live.
How long you had it like that?
What's up with you? You letting this girl say everything else, saying that she doesn't want to take care of Deshaun. You guys are doing all this bull crap on live or whatever, but you are hiding in the background. It's time to grow up. Be a man. Deal with your shit.
How are you just gonna get bunk beds for the girls but not your own son? You're a fucked up dad. You're out here saying I'm a fucked up mom, but you rather support your girls instead of support your son, Deshaun Jenkins. That's fucked up. Like I said, the hurricane is coming for both of y'all, so be ready, cause it's coming hard. You better hold on tight.
TikTok followers or anyone, is anyone available to come pick me up at my house so I can go get my son from them crazies? Like, emergency. Need to go get him. I have my other son with me, but I need to get over there. I need a car. I need a ride. Anybody available to give me the ride to go get my baby? Like, ASAP. Needs to happen now. Anyone, let me know. Please. A ride to go get him from that house. Please. Any followers, anybody that's available, ASAP right now.
Another mother spoke out. Her son is actually friends with Andrew's second son that lives with him and Stephanie.
Okay, so I just want to make a post really fast because I was just on Facebook and TikTok and all the stuff, and then I of course come across Resilient Jenkins or whatever their name is, and I'm just watching the videos. You know, mind you, my son is 7. My middle son, he's 7 years old. He has this little friend at school who he's been begging for this boy to come over and spend the night at our house. You know, he always takes lunch for the kid. You know, whatever, like shares the snacks with him and shit. You know, because they have snack time. And the teacher has to buy the snacks herself. And so, like, my son would always pack extra snacks for kids who couldn't have snacks. Well, the teacher, my son's like, he wants the boy to come over so bad. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll think about it. You know, you need to clean your room, you know, because, you know, you're not cleaning your room. I'm not going to have people over at our house if you don't want to clean your room. You want to push stuff under the bed all the time. So, you know, I'm just, like, making the normal, things. Never in a million years would I be sitting here on TikTok watching TikTok and my son leans over and says, that's my friend that I want to come over and spend the night, and it's motherfucking Resilient Jenkins' son. Not her son, it's her Andrew's son. My son is friends with her son, and he wants him to come spend the night at our house because, you know, he just wants him to come spend the night at our house. So then I show my son the TikToks. Y'all, when I tell you my son was super sad and said he made sure to say that he's going to go to school on Monday and try to have this little boy come spend the night and hang out with him more. My son was like, they're TikTok famous, but then my son says, why doesn't he have his own room? Why doesn't he have a bed? Like, why are they sleeping on the floor? My son's like, what the? Because mind you, I'm a single mom of 3 kids. I have a 3-bedroom. Like, I have a 3-bedroom apartment. They have their own rooms. They have their own beds. And I know the CPS will flip out if your kids don't have their own bed. So it's really crazy to me how they don't have a bed and they're in this apartment. Like, you know, I know there is no help. There is no funding in Oregon. I'm in the same boat, you know, struggling with our rent and shit because there is no funding to help with your rent and stuff. But that's a 2-parent household. They can both go to work. And her kids go to school with my kids. I know for a fact that they have, up the street from that school, there is a daycare that will take your kids. You know, you can drop them off, and it's right on 142nd and Division. I had my baby in that daycare until he got into all-day preschool at the very school our kids go to, and my son's 4. So I'm just saying, it's a small fucking world. Portland, especially itself, is way too small to be running around being that reckless. Like, girl, you had me get up out of my bed and make this TikTok because I couldn't believe how small Portland was. The fact that they are in the same class sharing snacks together is fucking sad. And you know the one thing that my son asked me to? Why does he have scars all over his legs? And then I read on here, I'm doing a little bit more deep dive. I learned that there's lice and fleas over there. Are you kidding me? What the That poor, them poor motherfucking kids.
She got a bit of backlash over her video and decided to respond to it.
Go.
First of all, I don't even believe this. And even if it was true, why would you show show him that?
So, did I show you his room to be mean and show him his house?
No.
I told you there was no room there, right?
Yeah.
So I showed you that that's why you can't spend the night.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys friends?
Yes.
How long have you known him?
Last year.
You guys have the same teacher?
Yep.
Do you see each other every day?
Yep.
What do you guys do at school?
Play on everything.
Everything like what?
Monkey bars, legs, the spider, the zip line, all that.
Do you guys partner up in class for stuff?
Yeah.
Is he your bestie?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's safe to say that you do know him, yeah?
Yeah.
And you really want him to come hang out with us?
Yes. More than it.
But does his mommy ever call us back?
No.
Mind your business,
Look,
Caitlin. This is not throwing shade at this specific person alone. I'm not throwing shade at none of you guys. But I want to make it very, very clear with you guys that I already knew she wasn't going to probably let her son come spend the night. She hasn't let him come over this entire time. My son and her son have been friends for 2 years. They've had the same teacher for 2 years. They've been friends for a long time. My son is the clown. Her son is the sweet angel of the two. They're like Sour Patch Kids. My son is the sour. He's the sweet one. I knew the backlash that I was going to face with this video, and I don't care. I'm still going to continue to reach out. I'm still going to continue to try and be a safe space for that child. And I'm still going to feed those kids. I'm going to feed everybody. I will feed everybody. If you were homeless and you were starving, come find me at Metro on Powell. I will feed you. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it needs to be known that I see you and I still want to help. Like I said, if you're hungry, come find me at Metro. I will feed you if I can afford it. But anyways, so when I was going back before, I was saying how I did not want Resilient Jenkins bash, anything like that. I don't. I still don't want her bashed. I don't want her put down. I don't want her attacked or anything like that. I do want her to accept the help that's being offered. Okay, I reached out to multiple people in my community. I also reached out to the social worker at my school, not to be petty and open a case or none of that. I reached out to him so that way he can help her the way that he helped me last year. Okay, this man takes my kids to and from school when they miss the bus. Okay, this man gets my kids clothes to the clothing closet when I can't afford clothes. School clothes, yes, he got me helped me get school clothes, school supplies. This man has literally gotten me Christmas gifts for my kids last year. He's helped me get bus passes, helped me get to and from work. He's helped me get jobs. Like he can help you if you want. Now, the one thing he can't help me with is my rental assistance, but that's okay because everything else is going to fall into place when he helps me with that. I just need a better paying job because $16 an hour isn't going to pay my rent anymore. But when people keep saying, why isn't CPS being involved, why is CPS being involved, it's because also at the same time, I don't want my son's friend being taken from school because we all know that CPS, if there's no one else taking these kids in this district, these kids are going to be put into a foster home outside of this district. And when they get put into a foster home outside of this district, they will not be at the same school. So there it is. Me being a good person makes my son lose his friend that he's been friends with for 2 years. No, I'm not with that taking him away from his mom. I want you to learn to do better. And if you're struggling, learn to do better. We're not born with a book about how to be a good parent. We learn as we go, and we learn from other people's mistakes. We're like, well, we're not doing that. I ain't gonna do that. We are learning, okay? Stop bashing other people and making it seem like it's like a whole bunch of shit. Like, no, she just needs to answer my messages. Resilience, Stephanie, call me back. I'm not being mean. I don't want to be mean. I want to be your fucking friend, and I want to babysit your son, okay? I want him to come over and play, and I want to braid his hair, okay? Let me braid your son's hair. And if I can't grip his hair, my mama gonna grip it and we gonna braid his hair, okay? Okay, back to what I was saying. I didn't post this stuff to be malicious or to be hurtful or to be anything other than helpful. I want my son to be able to express his feelings, and I'm not going to sugarcoat or hide anything from my son. At the end of the day, I did reach out, like I said, to the social worker at the school. I made it very clear that I don't want this child removed from his home or anything like that. I want his mother to get the same amount of help that I got when I was struggling like that. I don't know if she needs help with rent. I don't think that she needs help with rent, but I definitely did reach out to the social workers at school and then ask them to just reach out and see what's going on. You know, maybe they need some help getting rid of the lice. You know, maybe they need some help getting rid of the fleas and whatnot. You know, maybe they need some interventions or whatnot. Whatever have you, they need help rather than judgment. And I'm not saying I wasn't judging any of that personally. I will say that I did judge a little bit about the floor. Because as a mom, I would definitely sleep on the floor before I didn't have, like, I would sleep on the floor before I didn't get my kids to bed. There are some differences between us and her, and that is to say that we're not all the same. Nobody gives us, we're not giving birth to children and they give us a whole, like, book to how to raise them or what to do. I know for a fact CPS, they do not tolerate abuse. Physical, mental, or emotional abuse that is not tolerated. Physical is more easier to prove than mental or emotional abuse. So that is one of the things that they don't normally take children away for in Oregon. Physical abuse, neglect, leaving your children alone, they'll take them away. Even though there is no law stating what age your child can technically be left alone at in Oregon, they will still try to, like, add that in there. You can get your children taken away. Every child in Oregon has to have their own bed. It doesn't matter if there's 4 bunk beds in one room, they all have to have their own bed. Everyone has to have their own bed. No sharing beds. Also, there has to be food in the house. Like, they will come and look in your fridge, look in your cabinets, look in your pantry. You have to have food. And then they have to have covers and clothes, and your house has to be clean. And I say this clean because their house is not as dirty as CPS would qualify it to be dirty. I saw the videos. I didn't see any feces on the ground. It could probably smell like cat pee or spraying because she did have outdoor cats and bring them inside. If they were already not spayed or neutered, then boy cats will spray, you know. It could smell like cat pee, but that's also, like, you know, it can happen anywhere. The main thing CPS cares about is when there's feces on the floor, when there's dirty dishes everywhere, bugs, infestations. They care about roaches. They don't really care about ants as much because ants are so common. Sugar ants out here are just so common. But they care about roaches and they care about fleas. Definitely, flea infestations are bad. They do not care about head lice, though. That is not something that you can call CPS on for someone with head lice. It's not. You can send in Oregon, in Portland, Oregon, where I live at. I've had this happen multiple times. My son got head lice once. I kept him home from school. The school called me and told me that I can still bring my son to school with head lice because it is not. It's not life-threatening. It's just unsightly. So you can send your child to school with head lice and they're not going to complain about it. They're not going to say shit about it. They're also not going to tell other parents that there's head lice at school. They may or may not, but I definitely haven't heard anything about head lice. And I saw a couple of my kids saying their classmates had head lice. So there's still definitely head lice, and no one's ever sent a letter to me about it in my little freaking parent view or anything. So there's that. So there are a lot of things that go hand in hand with CPS taking away children in Oregon. If they're not physically beating the children, if they're not leaving the children alone, if the children are not living in absolute filth, like floor covered in garbage, old food, dishes piled up in the sink, bugs everywhere, flies, gnats, like if they're not living in that absolute kind of filth, CPS isn't gonna bat an eye. CPS will probably bat an eye about not every child having their own bed. And when they say their own bed, they cannot have mattresses on the floor. That does not count as a bed. That does not count. They need to have an actual bed and a bed frame. And I will tell you personally, CPS has bought in my son a bed frame because my son had a wooden bed frame and he broke the leg on the wooden bed frame. They came in on some bullshit and they saw the bed was broken and they bought the bed frame and said they weren't going to close my case until I got him a new bed frame. And the reason why I got CPS called on me was because I didn't want to be friends with this bitch. People will call CPS on you for anything out here. So CPS barely even does their job unless the child is actually being beaten.
This family dynamic has plenty of layers to explore, especially with Andrew and Stephanie's choices around parenting and priorities. Andrew's gigs to buy Stephanie's daughters extras, like unicorn-themed shoes and pajamas, stand out as an effort to support her children in a way he doesn't seem to extend to his son. Instead, they rely on viewers for essentials like his shoes and clothes, which adds to the appearance of unequal treatment.
You got some socks?
She left the black ones in the back.
Come on. I want to see this. Up. Wiggle it. There?
Yeah.
Good. Get out of here. I don't need it. Think it's right here.
Do you want to try them on? Yeah. Can you say thank you to your daddy?
How do you feel? Fine?
Fine. You love them? Oh, they look so good on you, baby girl.
Wiggle.
This damn lighting, bro.
You fit?
Y'all ready?
Yeah! What are these? Ouch!
Those ones are yours.
Come on.
Wait, Addie, get back over here. I want to see too. No, I have to see the other way around.
The other way?
Yeah. Addie wanted the hearts.
Yeah, as I did. Can I go and try them on?
Can you open one so we can see it, Addie?
Stars. Oh, no.
Ooh, those are cute. Oh, they look so warm. They actually look pretty thick.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? You say thank you yet?
Thank you, Dad. And the actually are soft.
They're
All
soft?
of them are hard. Not all mine yet. I mean, but not all mine.
Do you love them?
Yeah. Can I try some on?
Of course.
Yeah. Can I try one on, Mommy?
Stephanie's shifts in her accent, often adopting a black scent, add another unusual element, perhaps as part of her attempts to appeal to a broader audience. And while there's nothing wrong with wanting online attention, the reasoning, hoping that going viral means Andrew will stay and continue having kids with her, speaks volumes about her motivations and sense of stability. It's one thing to struggle financially, but not prioritizing the children's welfare raises real concerns.
Listen, you're finna hate me for this one, but this is my 5th child, okay? Gentle parenting don't do shit. I will not raise my kids with gentle parenting. You got me bent back sideways.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My main goal today was to get the carpet and the rugs finished. Went over this rug twice, but I quickly realized it was probably going to need more like 5 or 6 rounds because, yeah, it has a lot more color to bring back. I'll ever watch some carpet cleaning videos because those are wild. You can just see it in the comments already. Where's this accent of hers, man? I told you, when I'm tired, the enthusiasm isn't going to come out as vibrant, okay?
$30 or $20. Big Eleanos. It's snowing outside and it's big money today. If you need something delivered, oh, I'm your man.
The hell? My man hardly ever gets to join me for videos, so I was like, put some of your personality up in here, let them get to know you. And I'm trying out some different angles, but I wanted you guys to see the couple of things I got myself for my kitchen, because we've been busting it freaking every day trying to make money and bring ourselves up out of this pit. So let's see. First things first. I already forgot what this is called. A food processor. I don't know why my brain was like... I've been wanting a food processor for a fat minute. This is going to change my gluten-free cooking level game. Like, it's going to change it. Bitch, I'm excited about this one. Woo! I can barely contain myself. Just hold on. Hold on. I kind of want the camera on for this one because, girl. Oh, she heavy. Are you seeing this? I'm so excited right now. I don't know if anyone's gonna make it through this freaking video, but if you do, you're a trooper. Watch me just bust it, bro. Oh my god! Girl. She's so pretty. Oh my god. You know, braised short ribs, burrito tacos, bitch. Shit's about to happen. And that's just that. I'm not even gonna edit this bitch. Bye.
Man, delete that shit, bro. Delete it.
To wrap things up, another TikToker, Marquise, known for his humorous videos with his wife and kids, hosted a live stream where he and his co-host interviewed Stephanie and Andrew. They tackled the criticisms and backlash they've faced online, covering everything from their parenting choices to their motives behind sharing their family life on social media. Here are some key clips from that interview.
Why did you think this moment is the moment that took off personally for you?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, I can look back at my videos just even 3 months ago and definitely see a difference in my editing.
Okay.
It's gotten better.
Okay.
And I took the time to kind of get some people off my list that were just watching my stuff but not giving support. I feel like kind of made a difference too.
Okay.
I really couldn't tell you why it was this video. It was no different than our normal content.
Okay. So you've been, this style of content has been what you've been making the entire time. That's the bigger question. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. We're gonna jump into the real questions now. There is rumor has it that this is not your real last name. They're claiming that you're not actually married. Can you speak to that?
I mean, I think I kind of plan to do like a live of my own and kind of give a rundown for people, but I feel like at this rate, everybody wants to know a little slice of it, and it's kind of like, why would I just kind of toss it up for free?
Okay, so you don't want to. And again, any question that you don't want to answer is fine. So you don't want to answer. You don't want to answer if that's your real name, last name or not.
No, that's something I got to dive deep into. So
okay, not a problem. Not a problem. There is also a rumor floating that the person you're actually married to is a offender. Is there any truth to that?
I mean, that to me, it's not something I could.
It seems like you would want to clear things up like that. You know what I mean? Again, I've had many viral moments, and the last thing I want to do is have false information just floating around the internet if it's something that I can easily refute.
I think I've shared a couple of posts regarding my ex-husband in the past, and he does have a pretty vicious record, but he's in jail currently.
Okay, and I'm sorry to hear that. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not here to judge. I'm just asking the questions. And again, anyone you don't want to ask is absolutely fine with me. The people are asking, do you actually receive child support for your previous children?
No, I don't actually.
Okay, you don't. And that's the thing that I hate. I hate that people get on this app and just automatically just make assumptions about people. I'm like, just because people live a certain way, it didn't automatically mean that they're well. Everybody on this app is a welfare queen. So thank you so much for clearing that one. The people want to know, because we've seen that people have been generous and have sent over bunk beds to the kids. They want to know, why is it that the bunk beds are not in the bedroom and that they're still in the living spaces of your home? They kind of feel like mom and dad should probably be on a lit out sofa or a couch, and that these bunk beds would be better utilized inside the bedroom. What do you have to say to that?
I think I think it's wild that so many people want to get into other people's homes and rearrange. I think that's why, because they don't know what runs well in our house, and they don't know why we're making the decisions we are. Mm-hmm. So it's mainly a space thing. They have way more space, 2 times the space out there.
Do you have any concerns about people threatening to call CPS based on your living situation, or the fact that you're exposing yourself and your family in that way?
If they're going to call, they're going to call. It's not something we're fearful of. We have nothing to be fearful for.
Okay, very good. Do you have any with regards to your landlord? I don't know what the laws are in your state, but are there rules? Are there rules against the number of people that should be living in a 1-bedroom apartment? You don't. I can't speak to it because I don't live in the same state as you.
Yeah, there is laws, and she's aware of it.
Okay, so yeah. They're okay. See, so in that moment, so if there is a law against it, do you think it's still worth it to potentially put your family at risk in that way? That is the bigger question.
I think that
because nobody would have known had you not done the video. You see do you understand where I'm getting at?
Yeah, but I get curious. Where was their interest in it 3 years ago? Because it's been our situation for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And technically when I moved in with him, we were already over numbers, and it's kind of just, we've tried to do what we can, but situation just kept us here. And like I said, the people who could come at us for it already know, and even at school, they're well aware of our living situation. So,
do they have people at the schools that are recognizing that you are the family that's blowing up on the internet for this reason, or how are they handling this?
So far, they haven't mentioned anything. I have asked them just to, out of curiosity, make sure they still feeling safe and everything. And yeah, they said nobody's mentioned anything to them.
Okay, very good, very good. There is speculation, or people that feel that what you're doing at this point is a form of grifting or exploitation. What do you have to say to those people that feel that this is what you're doing?
I feel like that's one opinion versus another. It's not my intention by any means. There's plenty of people who use social media as their platform to try to build their lives, and I don't feel I'm doing any different than that.
I actually saw a video where you had aspirations of having a tiny home. And my thing is, if that is still your thought process, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, then a tiny home wouldn't be much bigger than where you're living at anyway. So was that a joke as well, or were you serious when you said that?
I mean, tiny homes it's a whole community. It's not something that I feel should be negatively looked at. it's making use of smaller spaces instead of these abundant houses that just take over the environment. And I feel we definitely have talked more about maybe doing that when the kids are grown and out of the picture, because it seems like they do need a little bit more space. But,
Okay, so at this point, you actually do want a bigger space there.
oh, definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
we're definitely working towards that.
Okay, so is it your stance that you just simply want to be a homemaker? You don't actually want to work?
I would
Because
like to
you
own
said
my
you
own
work,
business.
but you haven't said that you worked at all.
No, I would like to own my own business and be self-employed. I don't think that's not somebody not working.
Okay, but at this time you don't have a job outside of the social media thing, which you do understand is very up and down.
Oh, definitely.
I don't go viral every month. I'm just saying, viral moments are not guaranteed. Is social media your plan A and plan B? You don't have a plan B at all. You said that you want to own your own business. What type of business are you interested in starting or becoming a part of?
I probably would sell like gluten-free baking goods, because I've been doing gluten-free baking for a long time, and I don't feel like there's much of a market for it around where I'm at. So.
Oh, okay. So you haven't began selling anything. These are just, you're still in the thought process.
I've been a mom for 9 years, and they've been my main focus. And as far as like me not having a backup plan, no, that would be naive. I'm not so crazy to think that social media is just going to take off and run my life and make all these dreams come true. Mm-hmm. I just think that it's not, we have such a short life. Why would you not want to dream in some possibilities? But that doesn't mean I don't have a backup plan. I've lived way too much life to not have a backup plan. God would really have to change some stuff, because believe it or not, I don't want another baby in this apartment. I want much more space for our kids. And it would be, I would have to have a completely different life to be able to just keep having babies. I think that this baby is probably going to be the last one for us.
Okay. Now there's another creator here that you should be familiar with, who's claiming to be the mother of his oldest child, a 12-year-old. That she basically went in on through pretty bad, and basically said that he has this baby over here that he has not paying child support on. He's $6,000 behind on the child support, and basically not doing anything to help with that baby. With regards to that, were you aware of this baby when y'all got together?
Oh yeah, Drew's never hidden anything from me. He's always been open.
Okay, so
listen, make that man support you. If he can't support you, then you support you and your kids. Cause I promise you can do it. He wants you to feel like you can't. But this man is sitting on this couch watching you fight for your life on this doggone internet. He's sitting there right beside you watching you fight for your life for him. Defending his actions, defending him being less of a man. He's sitting here watching you fight. And all he doing is whispering in your ear, telling you something to say. And that's what he do at night, whisper in your ear and tell you something sweet.
Well, let me ask this. Stacey, were you raised in a two-parent household?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You were?
For part of it, I mean, my dad, my biological father, was out of the picture when I was 9 or 10, but then my mom got remarried.
Okay, so I'm actually quite shocked. Okay, and because most people that I've run across and those that I know that typically display these type characteristics come from either broken homes or homes where things were not so great, and so they go out and gravitate towards a man that's just going to give them the love. You know what I mean? And that love, the love may, it may be enough, but it's not really, if that makes sense. So I'm actually quite shocked that was your answer to that.
Okay.
How does your family feel about you being in an interracial relationship? Could that be part of the reason why you're not close to them?
Oh no, they don't think like that. No.
Okay, I just asked. Yeah, I thought maybe that could have something to do with it, but it doesn't. So everybody's cool with you and Drew.
Yeah.
I want to say it to Honeybee because she was really getting on him, but you got to remember sometimes it's the woman's fault.
And a man will only do what you allow him to do. We all know that.
That's why I want to say it, because I hear how Honey is so passionate.
Oh yeah.
She said I would never
do what you let him do.
Yeah, like she would never let her man do this and that because you're so strong-minded. Okay. And I'm not saying, Miss Stephanie, you're a weak-minded. I'm never saying that. I never say that. You just might saw the things that you growing up and you thought that was normal. But what I feel like is, if you keep allowing him doing what he's doing right now, you're never going to see the difference. And I wish people stop having kids by these men that leave their kids by themselves, not showing. To be honest, I really don't know much about how father he is to his older son, so I'm not going to talk bad about him. I'm just going based off what I heard. Okay? So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that should have been your open eyes before you had all these kids. So how can we feel bad for somebody like that? And you already knew me. You already knew at the beginning that he wasn't in the older child's life or taking care of the older. What was your mindset when you was asking those questions when, the beginning of the talking stage? Do that make sense? I don't know if I make sense.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand too. Did you know about the oldest son before you got with him?
She said yes. But she said that they had the mother and the father have some issues, and that's part of the reason why the dad has gone years and years without seeing his son.
Okay, and then that's why
why were the court systems not involved, Steph?
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, y'all gotta let her answer sometime. Why didn't we get the court system involved? Because let me tell you, me as a daddy, glory to God, me and my wife have been happily married, about to be 19 years, been together since 7th grade. But if things fall apart tomorrow, best believe I'm going to court. I'm going to pay my child support, but I'm dragging her right to court because I want to see my babies. I want to see my son, and I want to see my daughter on a regular basis. So we're not even going to play those games. We're going to court with it. So why didn't Drew fight more for that baby?
I was working nights.
You were working nights.
Yeah, when I first had Anthony, I was working nights when I was 17, 18, whenever I started working nights. And I worked nights till I was 28, something like that. So 11.
Can I say something? When you finish?
I gotta let Drew talk.
Let me finish.
Go ahead, Drew.
I worked nights for 10 years. I worked the same retail job for 11 and a half years. 10 of those were nights. 10 and a half of those 11 and a half years were management. And then after 28, 29, I got into rough spots in my life and just tried to make the best out of everything.
Okay, Drew, I hear you. So you work nights. Wait. You work nights, Drew. The courts are not open at night. They're open in the daytime.
And you off during the day.
I know that. That means you had all day to drag that woman to court to try to see your son.
I don't know your name because I haven't been really paying attention.
It's Marquise. My name's Marquise. Oh, they've been making comparisons between you and me all week. They said that we look alike. Yeah, the courts are open during the daytime. So
about that, most of that 10 years, that whole night, the 10 years that me working nights went by super super fast. Probably most of it because I was working more than 40 hours. So I would go in at 9 or 10 whenever I started, and originally I'd be off at 6 or 7, but then I'd be like, okay, I'm okay with working till 8, 9, 10, sometimes 2 in the afternoon. And I work till 2 in the afternoon, go home, travel an hour to go home by bus, and then go to sleep and come back to work. That was probably 70% of working at night.
Drew, Drew,
That is not an excuse,
the question is, Drew, why didn't you fight to see your son?
Oh, I don't know. I was just going
because you were working. You say because I was.
I don't know. I was just working. I didn't think. I was just working.
You didn't think to fight for your son.
Oh,
y'all got the hush. I got this. It's two men talking now. So let me talk to the man now. So you were busy working.
Yeah,
that's the reason why you didn't fight to see your son.
I didn't know nothing about the court system or none of that. I didn't look into it.
You knew about the court system when you got put on child support, did you?
Yeah.
Did you not?
Yeah, I didn't fight it. I just whatever they took out, they took it. I just kept working.
So were you in love with that woman when you made that baby? Because it doesn't sound like you cared very much.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know if you ever loved her. Because it sounds like you just
we weren't really. I mean, I'm not. We're on. Is that the topic, or are we going? Cause
we're talking. The topic is the Resilient Jenkins.
I would not like to talk about past relationships.
Okay, but you do understand that your past has a direct correlation with past behavior determines future behavior. So this directly ties into what you're doing right now. You didn't take care of that one, and it looks like you're having more issues with the ones that you're continuing to create, Drew.
Well, yeah, I went through life stuff, and I'm doing the best I can with what I can. And
are you, Drew? Are you really, Drew?
If that's the thing, if other people don't want to believe it,
Drew, you're 35, and y'all about to be a family of 7 in a 1-bedroom. Again, I asked your girl the same question. Why is it between the last baby and this baby did you all not put some things into place to at least have a larger space for these children?
Sorry, the phone's cutting out. We didn't hear any of that.
Oh, between the last baby and this baby, why you, Drew, man of the house? why didn't you try to do things more to make arrangements for you guys to have a bigger space for all of these babies? I don't care how many babies you have. I really don't. But I do have some issues around men because now I'm being attacked. Now you're making me look bad. That are creating babies and not taking care of them.
Sorry, the phone was cutting in and out the whole time. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me say it again. You are making me look bad, Drew. I have been getting dragged on TikTok, and I'm a daddy that's been here since before conception. I work. I take care of my family, and I'm being dragged because you and I are both black.
I'm sorry. I don't know why this blocked number just keeps calling my phone. It won't stop calling. It's like left and right.
You can put your do not disturb on, and that may help you.
That's
Resilient. You had there's nearly 2 years between the last baby and this one. Why is it that why wasn't there a conversation to say, hey, this 1-bedroom is getting kind of crowded. Let's try to get us let's try to get us a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom or rent a house before we have another baby. That's the question for you.
we were trying. This baby was, like I said, she was
oops baby. That's what you called it. You called it an oops baby.
Not an oops. She's not an accident. She's a blessing.
No, I'm not calling it. I'm not calling it. I'm not saying it's a negative thing, but it was an unplanned pregnancy. So I
didn't mean it in the sense of like, oh, she's not welcome. She's incredible. We're excited.
Hey, so I just found out that it turns out my smoking habits are probably with my hormones and are the reason why I am not getting a baby like I want. So I am going to try to tough it out and quit.
We're not saying that at all. But the point I'm making is this house is this here full. It's a lot cheaper to do to put yourself on birth control or to put on a condom than it is for you to bring another mouth in here. We all can agree on that, right? The point I'm making is why was there not a what I hear is a lot of promise and a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Drew is heading towards 40. At what point is this potential going to be realized?
I feel like this is leaning towards starting to be borderline insulting.
No. These are just general. These are general questions. At some point, your potential has to be realized. Just like my wife held me up and said, "Look, I love you. You are a great man, but this is what I want for my life. And if you're gonna be my man, if you're gonna be my husband, if you're gonna be the father of my child, this is what's required." And you best believe I made it happen because I loved her that much. Where's your line, friend? That's what I'm asking. Everybody has one. Where's the line?
Drew has done nothing but be there for me. I'm not gonna sit here and it just seems like I don't even know how to articulate it because I'm so thrown off by people just acting like he's not a good person.
We're not saying you can be a good person
no one
and not
said
be a
that.
good provider.
No one said
you can be
that.
a good person and not be the man you need to be for 7 children. Or I'm not, Lord, I'm getting my math wrong myself. For a family of 7. Yeah, there's a lot. The road to hell is paved with good intention.
Is a man supposed to kill himself to provide?
Unalive. You can't say kill.
Okay, he's supposed to unalive himself to provide for the family.
Guys. Hold on. So what is so potentially harmful? What is so potentially harmful about working?
It's not that. We've already mentioned that his health declines. If we need to put
can you give us, because he looked pretty healthy to me. What kind of health are he's walking, he's talking, he's articulating. He definitely can work a desk job at the very least because he's running around with the kids. So please tell, could you give us a little bit more? Give us a little bit more with regards to his health problems. Does he have high blood pressure? Does he have diabetes? Has he had a heart?
He has a heart condition. He's being monitored for. He's still getting further testing to figure out what the condition is.
Okay, but even with the heart condition, your fingers work. He can't work he can't work you can work a desk job from the house.
I'm in heart failure. My heart is only functioning at 37%. I work 40 hours a week.
It's not that I wouldn't say that I agree, because it makes complete sense. But I also feel like there's a whole lot of where was all this 2-3 years ago? There's a whole lot of people trying to tell me this is how you should run your life. This is what we think you should do. This is this and this is that. And I've never been one to even do that to anybody else. That's not my thing. It's their life.
I'm definitely not. I'm never going to tell you how to live. I'm never going to tell you how to live. Again, this is just an open dialogue. Again, my hashtag remains the same. Even after all these additional allegations and all this craziness started, my stance never changed.
I'm not even sure how to respond. I've made decisions the best I can for each moment of my life, and right now it's same with Drew. And I feel like I'm not neglecting the needs of my kids.
And I said this. I said that. I said your children are housed, clothed, and fed. Those are requirements. If they're on the floor, the law doesn't say these kids can't be on the floor. It doesn't say that. The law says they got to be housed, clothed, and fed.
What is the assumption I'm going to do with money that I make off social media anyways? It's inevitable that it's going to be for my children. And I'm not planning on that being my source of income. That's never been my plan.
Now, I will challenge you on that a little bit. I was taught, and please believe I'm from the South, a fool with $5 is going to be a fool with 50,000. So I would, the type of help, if I were to provide any help, would be along the lines of financial literacy and probably some counseling with regards to to getting to the root of this need to continue to expand a family without taking into consideration the financial piece that goes along with it. Again, I'm all for being fruitful and multiplying, but there does come a point where, okay, while we're continuing to add on one side and there's not much consideration for the other side. You know what I mean? So that would be the only pushback I would give. There is a question in the chat. They're complaining now, and I know this is a silly one, but it hasn't been asked. They were like, okay, you got these cats in the house and the litter boxes, and that costs money too. So why do we have all these pets? And you have all these children here that we're struggling to see about. What do you have to say to that, Stephanie?
I say that the pets are for the kids. Kids love cats. They love dogs, and the cats are. We take care of them. They're fed. The litter gets taken care of.
Okay. They asked, are your cats fixed? They're just asking silly stuff now. Some of the stuff.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Okay. There were complaints about the fleas and ticks in the home.
No ticks.
I'm sorry.
There's never been no ticks, but
not ticks. I apologize. What is it? Fleas and what's the other one?
Lice.
Lice. Yeah, that's it. I apologize. You're right.
It's all been since resolved. I mean, those videos were quite a while ago. And
what's going on with your family support? You know, as far as your community of family and or friends.
Oh, I like that.
That you have aside from this app.
I've fallen away from a lot of my family because that's another story in and of itself. I still communicate with my family, and when it comes down to it, they definitely have my back through anything. But we don't have the same relationship we did 2-3 years ago.
Is it because of the relationship with Drew?
I wouldn't say it's because of the relationship. I feel it's more just because I moved a little bit further away from them. We just haven't seen each other as much.
Okay, fair enough.
If it wasn't for TikTok, what would you have done with the kids' living situation once they were older and they needed privacy?
I mean, Drew and I would probably have just made adjustments. If I have to get a job, I have to get a job.
Will there ever come a time that you think that we will hear more from him than you? Because, I mean, as a woman, I do kind of have an issue with you fighting this battle. What seems like mostly by yourself.
That was my question.
That's a great question. Go ahead.
I want to know more you of here, because I feel like, while I don't agree with you as a woman with a lot of the stuff that you've been saying, as long as your reasonings for why you and the kids live like this, I do have a problem with there being a grown man who's putting his woman in the forefront when a lot of the stuff is about him lacking as a man and lacking as a father. I'm not going to sugarcoat. He's lacking, and he's not doing the best he can. He's not doing all that he can. So
in your opinion,
in my opinion,
go ahead.
In my opinion, he's not. So what I want to ask you, and just to to say it again, why are you shouldering all of this battle? Why is he not? I can hear him whispering every now and then to you, but I want to know why he's not on this mic, and why you, as a pregnant woman sitting on live right now, taking all this heat when most of it is because of him.
Great question.
Honestly, it is a good question. I feel like he could help back me up.
In the public, we got each other's back. In the public, it's not a... And no, don't get froggy now because I'm saying something now. You had all the time to do it. Don't do that.
I'm not getting that. No one's getting that. The life wasn't about me. It was about Stephanie.
No,
I said what I had to
y'all
say.
as a family.
I said you don't start getting froggy now because you had this whole time. I've been watching this woman field you for days. For days she's been defending. For days she's been in the comments and going through lives and doing all this. So I want to know why now all of a sudden that I'm saying something, your balls done dropped. Don't do that. I'm just asking her because I know as a woman, like I said, I don't agree with you, Stephanie, with a lot of the stuff that you're saying and doing. But as a woman, it hurts me to see this because I'm like, for one, that couldn't be my man. One thing my granddaddy always say is you don't take it from a man who can't take you somewhere higher. You sitting here having babies for a man that's okay with y'all living how y'all living. I ain't gonna go into detail. At the end of the day, everybody still deserves better.
Can I be
and
next?
At the end of the day, from his first baby mama down to you, down to the kids. Hell, I'll even drag the cats into it. Everybody deserves a little bit better than this. And here you are on this live stream, and only time he got something to say because my loudmouth self done came and called him out. I need you to see that as a woman. I need you to see that as a woman. This is not how that's supposed to go. You shouldn't be fighting this battle by yourself. You shouldn't be trying to answer questions to make him look a certain kind of way. You shouldn't have to be defending him. Because you know what? If he was on his shit like he was supposed to be, it wouldn't be nothing to defend.
No cursing, honey. It's a no.
I'm sorry.
Can I say something? I know you're passionate, though.
Can I say something to her?
No. I'm sorry. We're right here.
Sorry.
We got Drew on the line now. We want to hear from Drew. Can you respond, Drew?
I was.
Oh, okay. Drew's done talking. Okay. Sorry.
And see that speaks so much to what we're dealing with. No. He runs. He's a runner.
Can I say something?
That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a runner.
One at a time, folks. So now
he ran from that first baby. He ran from that first baby mama. He ran from her. And now the heat has come. He can't stand the heat in the kitchen. Now he done ran from this situation. And I hate that for you, Stephanie, because now, again, like I said, he got one baby mama, and I'm almost positive that you're not going to be the second baby. You're not going to be the last baby mama. You're going to be the second baby mama. And then there's going to be another baby mama after you. And there's going to be another baby mama after you because he's a runner. And when things get hot, when it gets heavy, when it gets too much for him to deal with, he's out. He gonna dip on you.
What was that?
How many siblings do you have?
Just my sister.
Were you raised with both parents?
For 70. Well, I mean, my dad was the one who raised me and my sister. Like,
your dad raised you?
Yeah, my dad was the one who raised me and my sister.
Did your dad have a job?
Yeah.
So your dad worked to take care of you and your sister?
That's crazy.
So you had a positive example of a father that get up and go to work and take care of his family. How does he feel about you continuing to make these babies and you all are living in a one-bedroom apartment?
What happened? Sorry, what?
How does your father feel about your current situation?
Oh, my father's not alive, my friend.
Oh, he's passed. I apologize. I didn't know.
He passed in.
He passed right before you struggled with the addiction.
His dad struggled with addiction.
No,
I'm sorry.
his dad passed. Wait a minute.
Wait.
No, that's not right before you struggled with the addiction.
Drew struggled with addiction.
Oh, Drew did.
So that speaks a lot to why
that's
we don't.
Different. Oh
yeah.
That's a different conversation. That's a really different conversation.
I like I said, I've been through things in my life, and I'm trying to make the best out of everything.
But that is not what's being portrayed online. Right. Do you know what's being portrayed online?
I know what's being portrayed. What's your name? Was it Marquise? I know what's being betrayed. I've always known what's being betrayed. I've always been, since, especially after I got out of detox and recovery. I've always just.
I didn't know that you were struggling. I didn't know you were an addict.
Oh no. Most people don't. I just try to keep it to myself, and I'm almost actually. It's November, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to actually hit 6 years. Anyway.
And congratulations on that. I've been clean for 6, and I'm proud of that because once an addict, always an addict. That's
ever since I got out of detox and recovery, I just try to make the best out of everything.
I'm not mad about that, but the point is that is not what's being portrayed. What I did see is that you all will sit down and actually had a conversation about, we know that this is how this is going to look, but we're going to put it out there anyway because we want to go viral. So you're able to keep the fact that you struggled with addiction down, but you're okay with with making me look bad as a black man because you make us all look bad. When the headline is this black man with this white tea woman and they're in a 1-bedroom apartment making all these babies, you make us all look bad. That's the
if I'm making you look bad, Marquise, I'm not trying to make anybody look bad. I'm just trying to do what I can in my life. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to make nobody look bad. I'm not trying to look bad.
She said up here and told us that you're struggling with your health.
My own father looked down on me.
Your girl is saying that you're struggling with your health. Well, why can't you work at this job in the house, Drew? I feel like there's a little bit more that you can do, Drew.
Sorry, he just had to walk away to get her told or something.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Can I ask Stephanie?
Wait, I wasn't done with my conversation. I wasn't done with my question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to slide in because I don't know if you were directing yours to him.
No. We're fine. We'll figure it out. I feel like, okay, then go. I'm trying to answer it.
Okay. Sorry. I'm just saying.
To be honest, if it's too much personal, I'm like,
be here. You can go.
Yeah, I don't want to ask like personal question and force you to answer. You don't have to.
Again, I asked hours ago, where is the line?
I'm sorry, I gotta get going.
What is it that you're...
Before you go, Miss Stephanie, can I slide in? Because I know there was a whole bunch going around. I'll go quick. A common question between a couple people from the comments. In terms of you trying to move forward and change your narrative and change this story of your life, is there a reason why you're still married to the RSO ex-husband? And is that causing any rift with like where you guys are headed? Like, is that like a stopping point for y'all right now?
All I'm going to say is that was a domestic violence situation, and I've been trying to divorce him.
Okay.
It has not been easy.
Right. The other one was, it's more so of like, why do you feel comfortable in some of the slang terms that you're using online?
What slang
throwing out the N-word. Yeah.
I never use any of those words. I would never do that.
We got the screenshots.
We have the screenshots.
Your page is open on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Your page is open on Facebook, and yep, it's still in the comments.
She's dropping the
I
N-word?
don't know what you're talking about. When I was like, how many years ago was this?
That's kind of where it's like an issue because it's
where it matter.
Yeah. Clock that. Clock it.
I don't know what. I would like to hear what people
the N-word.
She was out here. Somebody said a comment to her, and she said, "Yeah, that's what's up, my."
That's what's up, my.
And Marquise, just to defend this topic,
Defend it.
Screw a black man don't make you black. I'm sorry, Drew. I don't care what you say. The answer is no to that. The answer is no to using the N-word as a white woman. I'm sorry.
There's no past.
There's a hard no for me, but I want you to go ahead. Go right in with it.
Hold on. Marquise, can you hear me or no?
I can hear you. I'm waiting on this one, brother.
Oh yeah. Since I've known her, she's never used any kind of racial slur or anything.
She got black friends too.
Forever. I've never seen anything like that on her Facebook.
Oh,
I have to go down and look, see what's going on. I've never seen her.
Screenshot.
You built it. I can't hear him.
You want me to? I mean, I know a couple of us have it.
I will be happy to put you in the big
We're gonna go because I was like,
nothing like a good old receipt.
Okay, hold the line.
Nothing like a good receipt.
Did somebody say hold the line? I can't.
She go.
She said hold the line.
Did she dip out? Y'all still? I did that.
Hold the line.
Do you still want it?
Risa, you did your big one, girl. Risa, you did your big one.
Pace, you know what I'm saying? That pace, you know? And I had to see him go through that. And I had to see a lot of it. I had to deal with him coming to my job outside, standing outside 8 hours crying. Because he wanted me to let him come back. But he wasn't clean. And I couldn't have that. I had to sit there and watch him sleep outside because I didn't want that in my household. But I do know this is that one time when I just got off of work and I went and picked up my kids and we walked home, I seen him sleeping outside in a sleeping bag. And, you know, I got a big heart, so I was just like, come on, man. You can come take a shower and you can come eat. But you can't sleep in the bed with me. Sleep on the couch. You know?
Am I the drama? Yes, you are the drama. What does that even mean?
Is Desiree on the live as well? No, Desiree didn't get on the live. She gave the context that she experienced. Exactly, yeah. She gave her part what she experienced, and I gave my part what I experienced, and Desiree gave her part what she experienced. I think I heard in that live she actually only dated him 2 months. Oh, dang, I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I know, right? Her situation her situation is worse than what I went through because, I guess because she has a son with him that he abandoned. Now, but I want you guys to like really kind of think about something. Okay, if Drew has his son, Deshaun by Desiree, and then he has his son, he's around his son by Desiree, he's around his son by Stephanie, and he's around, and the new baby, that means that he likes being in his children's lives. But like, I don't even know I don't want to put it in a bad context, but it's like, okay, so like, what did you do to make him want to stay away? Because if he's in all his other kids' life, why would he abandon his first one? That doesn't make any sense to me. Just leave it alone. So I am Drama, you are right about that. I'm not going to take that from you because you are right about that. Because honestly, I was lucky to actually get out and not carry 9 months, and then have to be dealing with that situation. I was talking about in context, like your story.
As we close this video, I want to thank everyone for joining me to dive deeper into the Jenkins family and the complexities surrounding them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more content as we continue to discuss family dynamics, social media controversies, and real-life stories. Don't forget to check out part 1 if you missed it, and as always, thanks for supporting the channel. See you in the next video.
You got me bent back sideways.